welcome to the Good Convo Good People podcast with me, your host Jordan DeLeon. Um, I want to thank everyone for listening to the last episode. I got another real special guest with us today, my good friend Ruben Helo. Ruben, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, what you do, where you're from, why you do it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for that introduction, man. And I just want to start off by saying that, man, it's super dope what you're doing here. Starting your own podcast is something
Appreciate
that
it.
a lot of people probably want to do and don't do, or whatever the case is. But just want to say thank you for having me, and thank you for everything you're doing, man. I think it's super dope.
I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
Of course, bro. So yeah, man. As Jordan said, my name is Ruben Halo. I'm actually a realtor here out of Denver, Colorado. I grew up in South Denver. Moved out to Colorado when I was about 4 or 5 years old, 97, 98, when the Broncos were winning all those Super Bowls and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So it was, crazy times around Denver. But moved out to the north side of Denver, what's now considered the Highlands. And then after living there for a couple years, my family decided to move down to South Denver. And that's pretty much where I grew up, man. I went to school there, met all my friends there, and grew up in South Denver. Went to Koonsmiller Middle School. Shout out,
Yeah.
all my Bulldogs out there.
I was a Dolphin.
Oh, Kepner?
Yep. Kepner Dolphin.
Yep, I know a lot of people from Kepner. So shout out to Westwood and that whole area down there. And then, so after middle school, I attended Abraham Lincoln High School, which is a rival school for Jordan.
Oh yeah, don't bring up old stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No need, right? We all moved on now.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, right.
And then, so after that, I attended UNC Greeley, out in Greeley, obviously, and got my bachelor's in communications with the emphasis in business administration with the entrepreneurship minor.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. It's kind of been just lining up for me in that sense, and just kind of been going from there. But yeah, man. So from South Denver, I Mexican descent. Both of my parents are Mexican.
First generation. Yeah, you are.
I'm a first generation
American.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. That's kind of all I've been having my guests besides my sister, first generation Americans.
It's crazy, man.
Yep. That grind, bro. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say my parents are from Mexico. My dad's from Chihuahua, Mexico, and my mom's from Zacatecas.
Okay.
And yeah, man, hardworking people. Literally since I was a kid, I've seen them just grind, and they're up almost they're almost 50 years old at this point, and they're still working and grinding.
That's dope, bro.
So, mad respect to them. So I feel like a lot of what I'm accomplishing, a lot of what I've become and I'm becoming is because of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to be able to give them a shout out and just some recognition. But yeah, man, in a nutshell, that's kind of a little bit about myself.
Dope, bro. Dope. Yeah. It's like that first generation. I mean, they take that hustle that they get from their parents. Like Natalie's dad, came here. Their traditional Mexican story came here.
Yep.
I'm sure that's what your parents did. Came here.
Yep.
Started working, saving up money.
Yep.
That whole spill, and that's dope. And I think it something that I see that you're doing is, so you take that grind and that hustle, but you move it to a different avenue. Something I said on my last podcast, you ain't got to use your hands no more. Right. You ain't got to use your back. You use your mind, bro. And
right.
And that's definitely why I wanted you on here, because I see that's what you're doing now.
I appreciate that.
That's so dope. And in my first episode, I brought you up because you're kind of the seed that put me to go towards this route. I don't know if you remember that conversation we had at
the gym.
Yeah, that's actually when I bought this shirt. And we'll touch on the gear. You got your gear laid out here, and it's dope, man. But yeah, just that conversation we had, man, and you put me on game. And also too, you got me into reading, bro. Like I mean, obviously I know how to read, but
right.
But you put me on that like reading, because I think you brought up something. I don't remember the conversation exactly, but I know which way it went, and you were just dropping gems on me, bro. And I was just asking you like, yeah, what can I do to get better, or and you're like, well, you read, and I was like, not really. I was like, I don't really care to read,
Yeah.
and you're like, well,
You're
check
not
out
the
these.
only one, by the way. I've been there.
Yeah,
You know,
I just think just kind of school just ruined reading for me,
for sure.
and you threw me some books, The Secret, Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Yep.
which you blessed me on those ones. The Richest Man in
Oh,
Babylon,
Babylon. It's a great
um,
book.
and then you just gave me one recently, the Think Like a Monk.
Think Like a Monk
Yep,
by Jay Shetty.
yep. I
Yeah.
just got that in the mail, so I'm gonna start that one. Yeah, bro. Ever
Dope.
since I didn't do it right away, like reading, but
Right.
I think after my whole situation happened, I was just like, how can I get better? And then I thought back to the conversation we had,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, yep, well, I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna start reading these books, bro.
No
And
doubt.
I've learned just so much just from just reading, bro. And it's like
It's
crazy,
crazy.
bro. It's like whoa, like just so much information's right there. And I think
Right.
um like the just school, bro, just put us onto a bad taste with reading.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, I think you make a good point, bro, because I didn't read my first book probably until my junior year of college, like a book that I wanted to read.
Mm-hmm.
The only other book I read before that was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and
You
that was
see,
like in sixth grade.
mine was like holes or something.
You know? So, after that, actually, my first book that I ever read was the biography of Malcolm X,
Okay.
and that book just kind of just was crazy because this dude was just insane, man. But after that, I just started reading and started getting into like self help books and some financial books and stuff like that. The reason why I'm in real estate is because I picked up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and basically this dude is on the book, just basically talking about how he got rich, how he was doing all these investments and buying all these apartment complexes and selling them, and then not paying taxes on the profits that he got, when he made those transactions, due to certain things that you can do within a transaction that
Mm-hmm.
allows you to just kind of not have to pay all those taxes. You know what I mean? And so, by nature, I've always been a thinker and an observer. You know what I mean? So I was like, how is it that these people know something I don't know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I kind of want some of that. And same thing with Shoe Dog. Great book by the CEO, the founder of Nike. Taught me so much, and just kind of seeing those books and those words, man, and just just seeing all the knowledge that other people have for you and are willing to give out. Obviously, they're charging for the book, but they're
Yeah.
willing to give that out. So now that's what's up, man. I do remember that conversation.
Yeah, bro. It was no that for real conversation was just changed me. I didn't change right away,
Right.
but it led up to this, bro, for real. So I want to give you a
so
shout out. I gave you a shout out on my first podcast and said the conversation we had, but the reason why I'm here, bro, a part of it has to do with you. So I want to acknowledge you for that.
dope, man. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just that your mindset, bro. I just remembered. I think I even told Natalie. I was like, "Yeah, I ran into Ruben, and Natalie from middle school. You guys went to middle school
Right.
together." So she always jokes and is like, "Oh, I knew them first," and I was like, "It ain't about who knew them first. It's about who knew them right."
Right. Okay.
Because she always says that with Capo and all that. But yeah, I was like, I ran into Ruben Helo, and I was like, man, like we just had like, it was like a good 20 minute
It
conversation,
was a long
bro.
conversation
and
at
just,
the gym.
and I think at that time I was trying to get into be a realtor too, and yeah, I think we were just talking about that, and I think where our mentals are at the same level is rather than I think traditionally people, well, not traditionally, but usually people like hear somebody's going into the same like business as you, they get that competitiveness, or
Yeah.
they get that envy or whatever.
Man, that's a great point.
And it wasn't like that, bro, because I was like, bro, we could work together. I'm like, bro, you know what I
No
mean?
doubt.
We could collab and, we could do something together.
Absolutely.
And, that I still want to do real estate, and we'll touch on that. But I just, I think you said in what was the podcast? Addendum?
The Ednium Collective.
Addendum.
Ednium.
And then
That's a tough word.
yeah, collective. You said that it's not for the faint-hearted or something like that,
The
bro.
faint
And
of
it's,
heart.
yeah, and it wasn't, bro. And I'll admit that. I'll admit I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of like there's way more into this than
doubt.
what I anticipated,
Yep.
and it wasn't for me. And so my hats are off to you because I got a little taste of what goes into to get your license and everything else that comes on top of that. And bro, and you're doing pretty well doing it. You know,
No doubt.
you know, I see you. You always got a listing. You're doing your thing, bro.
I
So
appreciate that.
hats off to you. So,
Thank you, man.
yeah. So I mean, you say you're first generation American. Grew up in. You said first you lived in the north side.
Yep.
And then you came down south.
South Denver.
Okay, dope. I don't know how many siblings you have. I know you have your youngest sister, right? Who's
Yeah, I have a younger sister. Her name is Jennifer. She's 15, and then I have another sister. She's 25. My sister JD, and then I have an older half sister. But I mostly see my two younger sisters most often because they live here in Denver, and my older half sister lives in California. So, yeah, man. So grew up around women. A lot of the people in my family are women as well, strong women, which I think gives me a different perspective on life and just things in general because I've always been able to see that women perspective. And also my dad is a very how should I say? He's very strong-headed, man. He's very
as all Mexican dads
all
are.
Mexican
Yeah.
dads, you know what I mean? Like this dude, like so he taught me a lot as well. He taught me things that school could never teach me. He taught me about the streets and stuff like that. I don't want to sound like big and tough or whatever.
No, but
he knows a lot of the game. You know what I mean? So I got that from him as well. So I just feel like I was blessed with the perfect combination. With my parents and in a good situation. And obviously, it's not always perfect. You know what I mean? It's something that I do need to mention. Family situation has not always been perfect, but as I mentioned earlier, I've always just tried to, make the best out of situations and learn from whatever situation I can. So, and try to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? And
yeah, all you
learn
can
from
do.
everything. Exactly. So, but yeah, it's a little bit about me, my background, my family, where we're from.
No, don't.
Also, I did want to mention, man, my last name, a little interesting, right? Helo.
Yeah.
Helo. So it actually comes from the Middle East, and it's something that I recently researched and everything, and it comes from originally Syria,
Okay.
and then they immigrated over to Lebanon,
Oh wow.
and then from Lebanon they immigrated over to Chihuahua in the early 1900s.
Wow.
So that's
okay.
that's what
I
my
always
last name.
wondered because I mean it's not like
It's not
Reed
common.
Sanchez is
Right, it's not a
yeah.
common Mexican last name.
I always wondered about that too. I'm
Mhm.
like, hello, like it's not your typical Mexican last name.
Right.
So that's crazy. Do you know why they migrated there or what happened? The story behind that?
I do not. I don't know. I've been wanting to look into it a little bit and do that ancestry and see if I could get more information on that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it was a tough situation out there, and then they just had to, immigrate. And so, they immigrated to Chihuahua. And so I found out, that the meaning of it as well, which is ironic, just a little weird. But so it means in Arabic, it means handsome, pretty, or sweet.
Okay.
So I was like, okay,
Yo, you're blessed with that.
it's a little fitting.
Call you
just
Ruben handsome from now.
No, I'm just.
No, but no, that's crazy. Yeah, because I was always curious about that because I was like is he 100% Paisa or like
Yeah,
what
I mean, I am.
Yeah, but it's
From a
somewhere
different
way
place.
down the line. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's interesting. Well, because Natalie was telling me too that they have like Asian Vietnamese and Chinese people that are in Mexico,
Mhm.
and like how here where they pop up like Ace Sports or like little stores like that,
Mhm.
they have those in Mexico and they speak Spanish, and I never knew that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, like
Yeah, Mexico has a whole different types of people, man. There's a lot of influence. Like, for example, in the Philippines, there's a high like Mexican influence there as well. So
I
there's,
can see that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an African influence in Mexico as well because of slavery and everything like that came through like Latin America and South America and it just worked its way up a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is. I'm sure it is, but I seen it on Facebook where they're talking about like during the slave trade that a lot of the slaves would go down to Mexico because Mexico wouldn't like extradite them or whatever, send them back to the United States. They would keep let them like you guys
I've
can be
heard that
here.
too. Yeah.
And I don't know the specifics on it, but something along those lines where they were like nah, like come here, like you know what I mean. We'll protect you.
Right.
So that's dope like that. Yeah, brother. No, that's a cool little gem. I always want to do the ancestry too to kind of see where, cause so my last name, when I was younger, I didn't like how it was spaced out. So originally my last name's supposed to have a lowercase d,
Oh, okay.
and I think it stems from Ponce de Leon.
Oh, okay.
But along the way, the Ponce got dropped off, and then they capitalized the D, and then I just pushed it together.
Hell
So
yeah, it's interesting to kind of just like know where you come from. You know.
and my grandmother, she did like genealogy or something like that, and I do have family from one of the states in Mexico. It's like towards like Cancun, Quintana Roo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
forget the state, but I think I have some family that originated from there. So,
Okay.
but no, I mean like growing up, you know, all my friends have been you know Mexican. Natalie's obviously Mexican, you know, first generation,
Yeah.
and I. I consider them my people. My daughter's, you know, like 3/4 Mexican, so I consider myself,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? But I just
For
love
sure.
it, bro. And the biggest thing that I love is just that grind, bro. Like, you always see TikToks and stuff, you know, where they're, you know, it's snowing and they're on the roof and,
Right.
you know what I mean? They're carrying shingles on their back and
Right.
it's like by any
Going at it.
means, bro. And
Yep.
so that's why I said I like, you know, that new generation, you know, putting that into, you know, different avenues
Right.
and, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, you know, we're not, you know, you're not supposed to be in real estate, you know what I
Right.
mean? You're supposed to be, you know, out there doing construction, doing all that. So that's dope, you
Doing
know what I
something.
mean? We're knocking down doors and
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I feel the same way, bro. Because, um, I mean, who said we're not? You know.
yeah, and see, nobody
Supposed
was
to.
ever like you can't do this.
Right.
It was just like, and I don't want to put it on the parents, but like, you know what I mean? It's just that I think you touched on it on the other podcast. It's just, like they just didn't know, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like we have to find out for ourselves.
Yep. I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's important that a lot of, first generation Mexican Americans are, trying to put themselves in a better position. Because I mean, for example, like me, like that job was already done by my parents. Like all they could have done was come to this country and just work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give me some food, some clothes, a roof over my head, and that's what they could do. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, Obviously, everybody's situation is different, but that's what my parents did for me, and so I'm just I'm taking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm running with it. So
Yeah.
and
It like built the foundation.
the
So
foundation exactly.
The drive,
Perfect. Yeah.
the hustle, the grind,
Right.
the toughness,
Exactly.
and that's the foundation. And
foundation.
then you build up your walls and you put up your roof.
Exactly. For my family of the future, that's
Mhm.
kind of what I'm looking to do, and everything that I'm doing right now is just for that. I have that in mind. Is like, okay, I still want. There's things that I want to accomplish, but also I want to be able to put my son, my daughter in a better situation, all the while not losing all the values that I picked up with my parents
Along the way,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and have a mix of both and kind of develop your own way of raising your kids where
Mhm.
you keep that tradition, certain things, but you add your own your own
Your own twist to
yeah,
it.
exactly.
For sure.
And that's how I am too. It's for the kids now, you know what I mean? I know you don't have kids, but yeah,
Not
my
yet.
my whole perspective changed once I had
I
my
was gonna
daughter,
ask you
bro.
how did that change you? How do you how'd that make you better?
Bro, it made me like I said, it made me go towards being the absolute best version of myself I can be,
Right.
not for myself but for her.
For
It's
sure.
just man, it's the main motivation, you know what I mean? Like that fuel that I needed, cuz I um I touched a little bit on my upbringing, and it wasn't the best. I was raised by my grandmother, and I always knew once I had kids, I wanted to give my kids the absolute best life they can have, and give them the absolute opposite, minus the love. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Obviously, give them the same love that I got, because that's what I did get. But I just don't want them to have that same anxiety and that same disappointment and heartbreak and things like that. So,
Mhm.
I wanted to be the best dad I can be. I want my daughter to be like, you know what, I can count on my dad,
Mm.
and no matter what, my daddy's gonna be there, and
No
yeah,
doubt.
bro, it fueled the fire in me, bro,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's like all the motivation I
It
needed.
stopped being about you, right?
No, I mean, it's all about her now.
Right. It's crazy.
And I'm, every man wants a boy, but I'm so happy I had a girl, bro. Honestly, that was like the best. I do eventually, I do want to have boys, but I'm glad I had my daughter first, because you know what I mean. She's exactly what I needed. And you said, growing up around women,
Mm-hmm.
having that respect, and I've always had respect for women. I was raised by my grandmother, and but after having a girl, bro, it's like your mind completely changes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's different. You know what I mean? And
No doubt.
I'm glad I had her, because she, like I always say, she saved my life, and I mean that.
No, that's beautiful, man. I believe that too, man. I see a lot of my friends having girls too, which is weird.
Bro, like all of all of us, I think the only one that is Ruben Lido's the only one with the boy.
I'm like, God's getting you guys back.
Exactly, bro. It's like that. We won't talk about that, but
Mm.
nah, bro. But it's all what
I'm
we
just joking.
needed. Nah, it's all what we needed,
No
and
doubt.
uh, it's dope, bro.
That's what's up, man. I can't wait. I mean, I can and I can't.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
whenever it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen.
exactly, and it's all about timing.
Mhm.
Me and Natalie dated in high school, and
I heard about that story, man, in your podcast. That was
yeah,
cool. I didn't know about that story.
it's crazy, bro. It's like everything. Bro. My biggest thing is everything happens for a reason,
No doubt.
and
Yep. Same here.
so I mean, if it ain't meant to be, it's not meant to be, and
Right.
if it is, somehow or it's the way. And I know you're religious, and
Yeah.
I am too.
I like to
Um,
call it spiritual.
yeah,
I feel like
spiritual.
religious is very, it's got some baggage to it, so people tend to tune out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
No, and
so,
especially I think with kind of like the Catholic religion is the strictness, and we're kind of dealing with that now, because
yeah.
we're trying to get her baptized,
Mm.
and there's just so many rules, and
Things that go into it. Yeah.
we weren't married in a Catholic church, although eventually we will. I want to do that
So you have to get married, right, in the Catholic Church to be able
to baptize your child
right.
Catholic, and then both of the godparents, if they're married, they have to be married in a Catholic church, and then they all got to have, everyone's got to have their sacraments, and it's like,
It adds layers to it.
and it's tough, because I mean, that's all I've ever known was being Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandma's still Catholic, the one that raised me, so I always go to church with her, and I'm like,
No doubt.
I'm not trying to bash the Catholic faith or nothing, but it's kind of like, you know what I mean, like,
No doubt, man. I feel like a
you
lot of
want
people feel the same way, you know?
you want my daughter in your religion, or not, you know what I mean? But yeah, so no, it's tough. But no, I see you're in church every Sunday.
I try to
Uh,
be, man. I definitely, I'm not perfect by any means. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian. I consider myself a Christian anyway.
were you born Catholic, or were you raised Catholic?
My dad was Catholic, right? My mom was Christian.
Okay.
And she got put on because of my grandmother, her mom, and it's kind of been a tradition since, or if you will. And so I grew up going to both at certain points. I did do my first communion with the Catholic Church, and then I would also attend Christian church with my mom growing up, and I have an aunt who started a church here in Denver as well. So
Oh, don't.
yeah, I would attend that church every now and then growing up as well. And I just kind of honestly, I got away from it in middle school and high school. I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And excuse me. Yeah, I was like, this isn't for me, man. Whatever, screw this.
Yeah, it's like
God, like you ain't showing up, And I feel like a lot of people have been in that situation where there's things going on around them they don't understand, and it's just like, God, why did you allow this to happen, or what's going on? And so I was like that in middle school and high school, and then college came, and I talked about this a little bit in my other podcast that I recorded a couple weeks ago. I got into some trouble up at UNC, right? And at that point, I was just completely isolated. I felt like I was away from what I knew, which was a city, my family, and was dealing with some legal issues by myself and stuff like that. And I was like, man,
I remember that, because I think you came back to Denver, and I think we were probably at Co-Reads or something, and I was like, what's up, bro? Where you been? And you're just like, I've kind of been just keeping to myself.
Yeah, dealing with some things at that time. So that's kind of what happened. And I feel like at that time I was just like, man, I've always had a vision of myself in my life and how I wanted it to go. And so I knew that wasn't lining up with what I wanted to do and
Mhm.
what my purpose is. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I need, I need to get straight. So I feel like at that point is when I started to focus more on a relationship with God, and honestly, I can honestly say that I feel like it's made me better. I'm not here trying to say like, oh, go to church,
No, but
or you know what I mean. But I'm just speaking
do what works for you.
for myself, yeah,
And
and
what worked for you.
exactly. And that was one of the things that really helped me out, through college, and it still helps me out to this day, man. I feel like without that relationship, without that influence, I'm a completely different person,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I like that person. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I just kind of keep at it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think, sometimes we need those hardships
Mm-hmm.
to, push us the right way. And I think with my situation, that's what happened. It sucks that it had to happen later in my life rather than earlier. But everything happens for a reason,
For a
bro.
reason, at the right time, man. I say the same thing. Like everybody's timing is different,
Mhm.
and you gotta trust. You gotta trust your own process, your own timing. And just because you see somebody else doing something doesn't mean it. Just trust what you're doing, what you have going on. As long as it's coming from a good place, I feel like eventually you're gonna land where you're supposed to be.
Agreed, bro. And um, nah, and so my bad.
No, you're good.
No, but yeah. So I mean, I think we need that. Everyone just kind of needs to find that purpose when they're lost, as far as like what they want to do in life, or where they want to go, or and I think a lot of people do find that with God. They find it in different ways.
Hmm. That's important right there, in
Hmm.
different ways,
Yeah, in different ways.
whatever way works, right?
And I think especially kind of with the Catholic faith, where it's pushed onto you. I everything, it's always pushed, and
Hmm.
some Christian religions, they want to push it on you,
Hmm.
and I think
Absolutely.
rather than pushing it, just open your arms and welcome. What I
Right.
mean, if you want to come find out about this, or come to us.
No judgment, no anything.
Hmm.
And I can attest to that. I feel like you're 100% right because I've seen it. You know what I mean? So that's why I try, when I talk about it, I don't try to be like, oh, I always just recommend it. And I'm like, if this is what it's done for me, if you feel like you want that,
Yeah, see if it works for you.
exactly.
And that's good, man, because there's a lot of people, and I think now that, I mean, they're just so heavy on pushing it, and I'm like, don't.
Right.
You're just pushing people away. You're not
Right.
gonna push it on them. You're just gonna push them away.
No doubt. If I'm ever doing that, man, let me know.
Nah,
Check me.
nah.
Because I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, and I don't think you. I've never got that type of vibe from you.
So,
You know what I mean? I think definitely you're that person where somebody had a question about it, they know they can go to you, and you know what I mean. You post you're at church, and it's you're posting it because you want to,
yeah.
and you want to give that acknowledgement. It's not like
Right.
you're trying to force it on somebody.
Right.
So I mean, you got some gear right here in front of me, man. Let's talk about the clothing line. I told you how to wear mine.
No doubt, man. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I brought, some gear for my clothing line. I have a clothing line based out of Denver, Colorado. It's called HVLO Apparel. It's kind of a spin-off of my last name. And so really what I try to do with the clothing is push out a positive message, right? I'm still in the beginning stages. I definitely have bigger visions for the clothing line,
Mhm.
to be quite honest with you, to be able to push out different types of clothing, add more breadth to the product line, and just be able to market it in certain ways to where it's appealing to people and people can relate to it. One of the things that I want to do is be able to tell, stories of what it's like growing up in South Denver, or people that grew up in South Denver, or even what it's like, growing up in the United States as a first generation Mexican. Just, I have so many ideas, but anyway, so back to the clothing. Yeah, man. So I have
Natalie got that one. That one's
the
dope.
crop
Yeah,
top.
the crop top.
Yeah, it's I get a lot of good feedback on this one. So people, you can check it out at hvlo.net. I have
And I'll drop the link and all that in the description too. So
dope. Yeah, and then I have some crop tops for women, and I have some tanks for the guys as well. You could utilize these, put them on when you're working out, just chilling at home. And overall, it's a message that I resonate with, and it's hungry and humble, and I feel like a lot of people resonate with that as well. Um, you know, I consider myself a hungry person, trying to get it, and I feel like a lot of people do as well. And also, I never want to, I never want anything to get to my head. I
Mhm.
never want to, get too puffed up to where.
and You're the most humblest, bro. I swear. You are real talk, bro.
Bro, you know, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, bro, to be honest with you.
I don't think I've ever had a moment where you came off like cocky or arrogant. And, like
Yeah.
you just always been humble, bro. Always,
doubt.
yeah,
I try, man. I try, and going back to that God piece, I feel like that's what helps me out a lot.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Now the gear's dope. I wish you'd do more hoodies, man. For the guys,
I
bro.
appreciate that.
Yeah, if I could put in a request, bro, some hoodies and some
No doubt.
beanies.
I did have beanies in mind for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the main goal right now is to sell all the inventory I have
Mhm.
before I move on. So that's the main goal right now. But I definitely do have that in mind, and I appreciate that feedback too.
Yeah.
You know.
Another thing I wanted to touch on, as far as like supporting our friends and supporting our people. So, I'll be honest with you. I don't like this style of shirt.
Okay.
I don't. But that's me personally.
No, for sure.
I love the the saying. I love the stitch work. I love everything on the back.
Meaning like the cutoff.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just don't like the
The
hood.
hoodie. Okay.
But my thing is so when we were, because I bought this when we had our conversation at the gym,
Mm-hmm.
and I seen you were doing your thing, and I was like, well, what's up, bro? You got any shirts, or you got anything on you? You're like, yeah, actually, I got something in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And,
That's my office, man.
yeah, so great beginnings, you know what I mean? But I was
sure.
like, yeah, let me grab it, and I seen it had the hood, and it's just something about me, bro. I just don't.
It's
I
all
personally,
good, man. You could have said, I don't like the hood.
yeah, but
it's
I
all
was
good.
like, I'm gonna buy it because that's my boy,
No doubt.
and I want to support. And I think that's something that everyone needs to do.
Mhm.
Is even though if you don't like it personally, you don't agree with it. If that's still your boy or your cousin or your friend or whatever, you know what I mean, support him. And I'll wear it. I wear it to the gym a couple of times. But that's why I requested the hoodies, bro, because I'm big on helping my people and wearing clothes. I know Capo was he was kind of like the first one to start off with like the shirts and
Yeah.
doing this thing. And I always tell
yeah.
him, bro, get back into it, like.
Uh-huh.
And he's got so much on his plate.
Yeah. It adds up, man. But I mean, in any case, I appreciate the feedback because any feedback is always important. And
I just feel like I'm not big enough for it. Like dudes that wear this, they got to be yoked. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? I obviously people wear it and like it, but no, I mean the material's great, bro. Like
I will be honest with you. I like the material on the gray one more than I do the white one.
it
For some reason, like whenever I because I wear mine too.
Mhm.
Whenever I take it out the dryer or the washer, it wrinkles up.
Yeah, I had to iron this before I came.
Yeah.
But it's
don't know how
good.
I
It's
feel
good
about that.
material. It's not the Gildan or the
Right.
Triple
It's not
A.
cheap material,
And-
and I made sure to not buy cheap material for a
Mhm.
reason.
Because I've bought stuff from people before, and it's like Gildan, and it's kind of like
It just shrinks.
yeah, and it shrinks.
right away.
And you can only wear it that one time,
Yeah.
and so no, the fabric's good, bro, and I like it.
No doubt. And a tip for anybody out there looking to start a clothing line, whenever you look at any manufacturers or people that make clothing, make sure you order what you're looking to sell before you buy it.
Okay,
So you
that's
can
smart.
so you can wear it, wash it, dry it, and just kind of see how it reacts and see if you like it. And if you have some feedback, shoot, you could even just throw it on social media, you know what I mean, and see how people react to it and see if people want to buy it. Because the last thing you want as any type of business is to have inventory just sitting on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Just
you're
piling
not
up.
making money at that point.
So no, that's smart. That's smart.
No
'cause
doubt. Yeah,
I'm-
there's a lot of tips that I can share with people, and I would love to, if anybody wants to reach out. And that's another thing. Going back to what we talked about when we were at the gym, how I'm so open to share information.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't mind it. I talked about it in my previous podcast. I was pretty much saying that I'm open to it because I come from an abundance mindset. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, don't see it that way. They're like, oh, I'm trying to be the one to start this clothing line. I don't want nobody else to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like, for me, that's fear. You know what I mean? I don't like to operate that way. I find that there's more than enough out here for everybody because
And I love you said that, bro. You said that in the last podcast.
No doubt.
Say it again. One
there's
more time.
there's more than enough out here for everybody, man. No,
Mhm.
without a doubt. I mean, even if I want to start a podcast, you're doing a podcast, we're still two unique individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not gonna offer the same thing, and your message and my message will resonate with different people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with clothing. And whenever you're creating something and putting it out there, you're basically capturing a certain part of the market. The market is huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like to say that, man, because I feel like we see that a lot, especially in our neighborhood. And you know, it goes deeper than that. You know, I could even go as far as to say that that's why we are the way that we are and we live the way that we live within our neighborhoods is because of that same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yep.
Oh, no, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, but it's kind of like there was a point in time just where certain people were like, I had ideas to where I wanted to do something, but somebody else was doing it. I'd be like, oh, the first thing they're gonna say is, oh, he's copying me.
Right.
Or you know,
like how did they know that you didn't have that same goal in mind
mm-hmm.
before they even started it?
Exactly.
You know?
And like when I started doing the podcast, I had multiple. You were one of them. You're like, oh, you know, that's something I want to get into too. And I'm like, bro, do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no doubt.
Again, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, all right, I'll have you on my show, and then you put me on your show.
Exactly.
Like, let's collab.
And
like,
see how dope that is? Like,
yeah.
You know, you get a part of, like, people that would want to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
You get that share. You know, maybe they go over to your podcast and listen to your podcast and vice versa. You know, it's like, it's a team, it's partnerships, man. And
exactly.
It's networking, and that's what people need to, some people, I don't want to generalize, but I feel like that's what some people need to understand is that, you know, we
yeah,
like
you know what I mean. Let's, you know, we're not enemies. You know,
right.
We're not against each other. Let's help each other. And that was
Absolutely.
the biggest thing behind this, is like, okay, so let me bring you on the show. You know, I get some of your people to listen to my show, and then just like you said, and then you know, some of my people, you know, buy your clothing brand, or you know what I mean, are going to go to you, reach out to you to be a realtor for them. You know. And that's the biggest thing is like, let's collab. You know what I mean? It's bro, I love that. There's
Absolutely.
enough out there for everybody.
There is, bro. There really is, man. I don't know, man. I just feel deeply about that. And going back to that, like, even if we look at podcasts like Joe Rogan or other podcasts out here, they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have each other on each other's podcasts and stuff like that. So.
And that's kind of where I mean, obviously, that's a little bit where I got the idea from is because on one of his podcasts, he said something like, I tell everyone to do a podcast, and he's like, you know, come on my show, have me on your show, and you know what I mean? It's
no doubt.
Yeah, you know, we all eat.
Yeah, and another thing I want to mention, bro, is we're brands. You know what I mean? Like we're pretty much walking brands. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, and I feel like for me, for example, I'm building my brands, you know, real estate, clothing. I'm utilizing my last name to kind of build my brand and just kind of go from there. If you really think about it, that's all business is just branding.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So why not just utilize your name and what you know to be able to build your brand, and who knows what other avenues. That's why I was so happy that you started this, because, yeah, you're starting it out, and I'm sure I'm going to be in the same position when I start my own podcast. I'm not going to know what the hell I'm doing.
Bro.
Right? But I feel like something dope is going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You
well,
know?
Yeah, I mean, like, look how, you know, I don't have the crazy list, you know, viewers and followers and all that. You know, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, to start off, I didn't think I seen the vision for it, and I seen what it could be, but I was like, all right, well, let's see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I had to get out of that mindset of being scared to do things.
No doubt.
And are scared of what people would think.
That's a big one, bro.
Bro, that was
right.
That was my biggest downfall. And
me too.
Natalie would always tell me, she's like, you care too much about what people would think. And you know, that was the biggest thing. Like this, like I said, after I dropped the first and just talk about like starting from, bro, I was dead ass in my closet with my AirPods on, and that's how I recorded the intro and I recorded the first episode.
That's what's up. That's a dope story right there.
And, yeah, I was sitting on the floor in the closet, and I just was just talking. Like, I was just talking to myself, and it just ran with it, bro. And I got so much great feedback from it. But, yeah, bro, I mean, before I dropped it, I was just like, I almost pulled back. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And I think my biggest problem, and I'm getting better, I'm almost, you know, don't have that problem, is if it's hard or if it's difficult, or I don't want to deal with it, I avoid it. And I was like, I'll just put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, like fuck it.
Right.
It was like I dropped it and I backed away and
Yeah.
I was like,
Just let's see what happens.
you know.
Yeah.
And so that's part of my whole journey of becoming better is trying to get out of my comfort zone. I think you mentioned on the other the podcast that you said you didn't want to listen to.
No, man, I didn't. I did end up listening to it.
I was hoping I was sure you would, but
Yeah.
no, it's kind of cringy to hear yourself talk, bro. Like
Yeah, it is.
when I first listened to it after I recorded, I was like, you know what I mean? I'm rambling. I say like too much. I say
Yeah.
you
But
know.
that's like watching film, bro. You know,
Mhm.
and that's how you get better. You know what I mean? I'm the same.
Oh, like sports.
Yeah, exactly. Like watching film, like studying yourself. You know, I'm the same way with videos. Like, I want to record videos, and I know I'm not all the way there,
Mm-hmm.
but I still watch them, even if I'm like, ugh, like, why'd you do,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the only way you're gonna get better, and just trying and doing it, and that in itself is, like you mentioned earlier, the fear of not doing it or what other people are gonna think. Like, that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you learn, you gain experience from
Exactly. I mean, because when I'm done recording them, I listen to it all the way through, and each episode I take something that I can do better on the next one, and it's constantly, like I'm only gonna get better by doing this and just having the experience. So, yeah, bro, you're definitely somebody that needs a podcast.
You think
bro,
so?
yes, bro, 100%, 100%. I think, like, when you think of podcasts, boom, like, you know what I mean?
That's
Shoot,
dope,
bro, because I mean, your knowledge, the gems you drop, you help people get to that point. Like I said, you help me get here.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And so, you definitely, you're gonna reach a wide audience, and yeah, bro, I'm excited for yours.
Hell yeah, bro, I appreciate
Because,
that.
like you said, we're two different people. You know what I mean? The route that you want to take is different from the route that I want to take. And, then in the end, let's collab,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll have you on mine. The goal is hopefully by the end of this year to be able to start it.
And that's the thing, like I said, do it on your time, bro. Do it on your time. And be prepared. People are going to, like, I've had so many people that, like, try to read. Like, the biggest thing with mine is they're like, it's too long. I'm like, well, if it's too long, then don't listen to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't crunch, you know what I mean, what I want to get out in 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Or it's got to flow. Like I said, it's unscripted. It's raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, we'll just get in here and we'll make it happen.
No doubt. No doubt.
Alrighty, bro. So, yeah, so let's talk about your baby right now, real estate.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
For sure. I got kind of scared, bro. I was like, what?
I was like, bro, that's why I brought you on this show.
I was like, what do you know that I don't know, bro? What's going on? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, man, real estate. That's my baby, man. For sure, I definitely spend a lot of time with, my career and what I'm doing right now.
My bad. Yeah. That way we don't get no feedback in here. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. So I love what I do. I love real estate. I work with dope people. I'm around super, motivated people, knowledgeable people, and I feel like that always makes your job a whole lot better. You know what I mean?
You gotta love what you do.
Absolutely. Don't get it twisted. I work a lot. I sometimes 12-hour days, 16-hour days. Of course, there's breaks in between and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything. But sometimes it is long days, and sometimes I do work 7 days a week. I'm not complaining by any means. Again, I love what I do, and I feel like when you love what you do, it just doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So I currently work with, I partner with the Elevate Ave group. We're a team out of Keller Williams downtown. And, yeah, man, super great group. We actually closed over 100 homes last year.
Wow.
So, yeah, we
during a pandemic, too,
During
man.
a pandemic, exactly. So we're very knowledgeable about what we do. I just had 2 closings on Friday. Yeah, helped one of my friends out sell his property and buy a new property as well. So, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I just love it, Yeah, if anybody needs any information, feel free to reach out for sure.
Definitely reach out.
I'll be able to point you out in the right direction and help you, especially in this market. This market is super crazy right now, bro. It's super hot.
Yeah, explain a little bit on the market, because I think everyone's like thought is since it's a pandemic that houses are down, but they're
No
not.
doubt, man. I'm so happy you touched on that. A lot of people feel that way, right? They're like, oh, it's a global pandemic. Like, the economy's gonna tank. Like, I'm gonna just wait and get a deal. The problem is that we are actually living in one of the top 5 economies in the United States right now.
Yeah,
4 of our cities here in Colorado are in the top 5 as far as economy.
that's yeah.
It's crazy. So one of them's Fort Collins, the other one's Boulder, Denver, and Colorado Springs. The fifth one is going to be Austin. I think that's at the top of the list. But so what that basically means, man, is that homes are selling, and they're selling for over asking price, and people are willing to pay for those prices.
It's a buyer's market.
It's a seller's
Seller's
market.
market.
Seller's market.
Okay.
So that means that there's not enough homes out there inventory for the demand that is in the market right now. So you have more buyers than you have sellers.
Okay.
More competition for a home is going to drive up the price.
Okay. Because
So-
so in a buyer's market, that means nobody's are.
In a buyer's
So
market,
explain it. Yeah, explain
yeah,
it
for
the,
sure, absolutely. So in a buyer's market, it means that there's more listings out there. There's more sellers
Then there are buyers.
than there are buyers.
Okay.
So at that point, buyers have a little bit more leverage. You know what I mean?
that's when you could get a house for the low.
A better
Well, not for the low, but
a better price. You can
Mhm.
negotiate. You have negotiating power at that point.
okay.
That's not the point right now.
It's all sellers.
It's nuts. It's crazy, right? So if anybody's looking to list their property, right now is the perfect time. And feel free to reach out to me or what have you, and I can help you out with that. But
do you think it will continue this way?
that's what it's projected. That's what it's projected. And I've been trying to tell all my friends and family members and people that I know, if you can buy, because the interest rates have been super low because of the pandemic and
Mhm.
and everything like that. They're projected to go up here in a couple months. So if you are in that position, I do recommend for you to kind of jump in and see what you qualify for to see if you could get a property. But yeah, man, it's projected that in the next 10 years, this is a stat that I've heard recently, that the average home price in Denver is going to be around 730,000.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It sucks because like, bro, that's why I'm trying so hard just to be well off and because I want to stay here, bro. I really do.
No doubt, it's beautiful, man. I feel like people are finally starting to realize that. So
It was a nice little hidden secret for
Mhm.
all these years, and it
Yeah.
somebody went in and spilled the beans and told the world, and
Yeah.
now everyone wants to live here. It's crazy. I mean, just to think back, 10, 15 years ago, how, like, you know what I mean?
how much has changed?
And
Yep.
you always hear those stories of people that bought their homes for 100,000,
Yep.
and then they sold it for 400,000 or 500,000.
Yep.
Especially all the people in the Highlands, man. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean that,
Yep.
and that's another reason to get into real estate. I mean,
Yeah.
I think eventually I'm going to transition to real estate investing. So I want to be the fix and flip and doing all that. So that's the long term goal. And I think when I wanted to become a realtor, I wanted to transition to that. That's something you're trying to do though, right? That's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about real estate, there's so many different avenues within real estate to be able to just kind of make money and stuff like that. So I definitely do want to get into investing, buy a couple properties, rent them out, fix and flips, whether it be in this market or a different market. So that's definitely the goal, you know what I mean? And then at that point, also be able to invest in some stocks and stuff like that. So
How come you don't do stocks right now?
that's a great question. That's a great question. The honest answer is I don't know much about stocks,
Okay.
to be quite honest with you. I took a finance class in college. I mean, it was an 8 a.m. class, bro, and it was boring as hell.
Oh, I bet.
So a lot of it just went over my head, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's it. Is I just don't know enough about it.
All right. Well, let me help you out, bro. All right. Because
all right.
let me bless you because you blessed me plenty
Okay.
of times.
Yep.
All right. So currently, I consider myself a full time.
Ooh, am I talking to
investor?
the right guy right now?
I'm not 100% knowledgeable on like all the ins and outs and little things. I get the generalization of everything, and
Okay.
I know certain things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can read charts. But the thing that I did is I found this group. It's called Wealth Squad. And this dude, Chris Johnson, he's not. I mean, I don't have no ties to him or nothing. So he has a Discord. You know what a Discord is, right? So a Discord is like a group. It's like just a chat group with
Okay.
different chat rooms in there, and then people. So his thing is, so he talks about plays that so he's a full time investor,
Mm.
and he sees a company he likes, like Apple or whatever, and so he'll post his plays of what things that he's
Mm.
getting into, because the hardest thing about investing, bro, and it's not too much that goes into it, bro. We can do it, bro, like for real,
No, for
especially you.
sure. Um,
Especially you.
I've actually talked to my barber about it, and he's in it, and he actually is. He's in a group just like that one,
Yeah,
and he tells me about it a little bit.
yeah. So all you got to do is learn just the basics, and I'll send you some videos.
Hell yeah.
Just so what I do is options.
Okay.
You ever heard of options?
Nuh-uh.
So options is when you buy a stock, you buy one stock.
Okay.
Like Apple's, I think is like $130 right now. So if
Per
you
share?
want to, yeah, per
For
share.
one share. Yep.
So if you bought one share of Apple, you pay $130. Options is a contract. So in a contract, there's 100 shares.
Okay.
So you get more leverage and have more shares, but the only thing with options is they expire. You can make more money with options, whereas so like if you buy your traditional shares, you buy Apple at $25. In 6 months, it goes up to $30. So you made $5. You know what I mean?
In that
It's
time.
it's long money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So the people that make the most money, they bought Apple at $8,
Yeah.
and
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean. They bought 10 shares, and now it's at $130.
Yep.
This is a quicker way because you're buying a contract which is 100 shares. So you could buy 100 shares for, let's say, $500.
Okay.
And so there's called calls and puts. A call is you're betting on the stock to go up. A put is you're betting on it to go down.
Mm.
So if there's a $50 call, so you're betting that the stock goes up to $50, around $50 or higher, and every time that stock goes up, since you have 100 shares, you're getting paid off of each share.
Got it.
So I'm still learning, bro. I'm not 100% on it. I could kind of explain the basics of it,
Yeah.
but bro, it's
Hell yeah. Let's touch on that. One of these days.
for sure, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll send you these videos. It's like options for beginners, and it'll get you up to speed. Like I
Dope.
said, you don't need to do the market. You don't gotta do your research on the companies, because that's where I struggled, bro. Is like figuring out what to put my money in.
Right. 'Cause
Like
you don't know. It could be.
And
Yeah.
you think of only companies so like Apple,
Right.
Tesla,
The big companies.
yeah.
The point is to find those smaller companies.
Exactly.
That are coming up, so you can buy some stock and then hold it for a certain amount of time and then
Mhm.
sell it. Right.
Yep. So the options contracts, they expire. So they expire every Friday. So whereas your traditional shares, if you buy one share, the only way you could lose like all of your money is if the company goes
It
bankrupt.
just tanks.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
with options, you got to get out of it before. So it goes every Friday. So
Okay.
all the way up until 2022.
Okay.
And but no, I'll shoot you the video, bro. But yeah, get into it, bro.
Hell yeah.
You can do it now, and you could do it with the $100 investment.
Okay. I got that. I think.
Yeah, yeah, you
No,
got
no,
it.
no, no.
But nah, bro, because by all means, I'm not trying to brag, but I just want to tell you how much crazy like you can make money off of doing this. I
Yeah.
turned $100 into $1,400 in 3 weeks.
No way.
No bullshit, bro. Like for
Hell
real.
yeah.
And
I like it.
all you got to do is you just got to know the basics,
Mhm.
and you got to kind of know some things. You got to be able to read charts and things like that. But that all
Do
could
you
be
spend
learned.
do you spend a lot of time?
Now I do.
Okay.
But before,
Because I feel like I don't have.
exactly. See,
Yeah.
so what you can do is you could do stop losses. You could do sell limits. So say if you bought in at $50, you could do a sell limit. So if it goes up to $60, it automatically sells it for you.
Okay.
But if it goes down to like $45, you don't want to lose no more, then it'll sell it for you. So you can do it like that.
Okay. Strategically, what do you think about these companies that invest money for you?
That's cool,
Yeah.
but it takes money out of your pocket.
Okay.
I think maybe for you, it's gotta be what's best for you, what
Right.
works
Has
for
to
you.
make sense, right?
But yeah, so like have a broker or a financial advisor, things
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. I just my barber was telling me about just different apps out there that you can utilize, and it just kind of does it for you. So that's kind of what I was looking into at first, and he was also talking about like paper stocks or something like that.
Paper trading.
Paper trading.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
you're
When
playing
you don't
with,
have no money, you don't have no skin
playing
in the
with
game.
fun. Yeah, bro, because you as much as you could win money, you could lose
Absolutely.
money.
Yeah, it's like gambling.
Bro. But it's when I first started, I was like all in because I had that gambler's mindset. I was like, I'm gonna throw the kitchen sink at it, as my buddy Dario says.
Hell yeah.
And I lost $4,000 in 3 months, bro. Money that I shouldn't have lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sad. I was like, you know what, fuck stocks. Like this shit ain't.
That's a lesson, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's a lesson. But
An expensive one.
yeah, but yeah, bro, I'm on the right track, and you know we got to get in these stocks. Our people, we need, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. We need
let's break down
behind it too. Like I feel like we don't know. I'm 27, bro. I still don't know what the hell.
I barely found out last year about stocks. You know what I mean? My conception was always like, it's you know,
It's a white person.
it's a
thing.
white man's thing, and I have no business putting my money in there.
Wrong.
Exactly,
We gotta
bro.
get into stocks and real estate, and
Exactly.
everything they're doing, we gotta do.
Yeah, you know we got to do it. But no, I'll shoot you those videos, and if you have any questions,
Hell yeah.
the Discord's like $70 a month, but you'll make that back times 1,000, like
Okay.
for real. So
Let's do it.
I'll help you out with that. And anyone who has any questions about that, looking to get in stocks, feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm not 100% on it. I'm trying to be, but I could at least lead you in the right direction. And that's the power of, you know, today is, bro, we can find out anything. with this thing right here,
Yep.
bro. You know what I mean? Like
Anything.
anything. You want to learn how to open a door, YouTube it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something so simple.
For
So
sure.
it's just a new age, a new way to get money. And my biggest thing is, you know, our people, you know, we got to go take our, you know, our piece,
Mm-hmm.
and a big piece too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
My bad. I didn't mean to get off track.
No,
I'm just
you're good,
I'm so
bro.
passionate about that.
No, you're good. It's appreciated, man. It's content. You know, it's something that people need to hear. I needed to hear that. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it's dope. Can't believe it's been what, an hour and 45 minutes, man. It's flown by. So
Yeah,
I'm
we're
having
about
a good time.
about an hour in. Got a half hour left. Yeah, we had all the technical difficulties before that,
That's
but
right. Dope. No, I'm having a great time, man.
yeah, it's fun, man. And like I said, you know, you're definitely somebody on top of my list that I wanted in here, and give my praise to. And you know,
I
like I said,
appreciate that,
you
Likewise, bro.
you pushed me in the direction along with a couple other people to get me here. So
Absolutely. And you're doing it, so
yeah, credit. I got to give credit where credit is due.
that's awesome.
Let's see what else. What you got for us, Ruben?
I mean, I don't know, man. I just kind of, you know, touched on a lot of what I like to talk about throughout the podcast. My whole thing really is just trying to help people, trying to motivate and inspire people in one way, shape, or form. Because I know what it feels like to not be motivated, to not be inspired, to not know what the hell I'm gonna do with my life or what have you, or not be in the best position mentally or emotionally. But that's my whole thing, man. Is to try to inspire, motivate, and encourage people the best way that I can, and help people, man, through real estate, through you know sharing some game, whatever it is that I know, because obviously especially for my community and anybody from South Denver, we there's a lot of opportunity out here for us, and we just have to apply ourselves and get after it. You know what I mean? So.
And sometimes you need to see other people do things for themselves to be like, you know what, I need to do that too.
No doubt.
And I think that some of that had happened for me. I had to see, somebody like you. There's a couple other people. My sister starting her own business from her basement.
That's dope.
You know.
Shout out to your sister.
Yeah.
Shout out to other businesses I see. Shout out to Janet.
Slay Sister.
Slay Sis.
I'm gonna have them on here. I don't think I'll have enough room, but we'll make it work.
No doubt.
But,
yeah, shout out.
But I love it, bro. Like,
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a new age of getting money.
Putting yourself out there.
And do it for yourself. Like my biggest thing is, not making somebody else money, somebody else's company money.
Yeah, man, that's so important. That used to kill me, bro.
Like punching that clock,
bro. Jeez, going into work, that has always been in the back of my mind. Like, I'm making somebody else money right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're in control of me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that feeling.
Well, to be, I don't know if you've ever been laid off or fired from a job,
I don't think I have, fortunately.
bro. Yeah, and you won't.
Yeah, no.
And you
I
won't.
mean,
You won't experience. It's a
I
good
could get
experience.
fired as an agent,
But then you could just go somewhere else.
somewhere else, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
You definitely don't want that reputation, though.
But after getting laid off from 2 jobs, back to one of them was that company. I won't bring up their name, but where they had the program where they like transition you into a real estate agent. So you do your courses, and then I was doing like cold calling for them, people that were online or whatever wanted to sell their home, and then they give you additional
Cold calling, man.
bro. I did sales.
I still do it. It's a
Yeah.
part of the job.
But hey, that'll build your tough skin, bro.
For sure. It's helped me out so much.
Sales
It's
honestly made me more of a people person because
Me
I
too.
used to be shy, like
Mhm.
super shy. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
I wouldn't. It would take a while for me to warm up, but now like after, because I did door to door, so yeah, I've had doors slammed in my face. I've had people try to stick dogs on me. I've been called every name in the book,
Yeah.
and that helped me. Like, no, don't hurt.
It helps you, bro.
It builds your tough skin,
Hell
bro.
yeah. We need rejection.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that everybody's afraid of. I've been there. It's something our society shies away from, but rejection is good for you.
Yeah. What can't kill you
Makes you stronger.
exactly.
Yeah. Man, I've been rejected so many times.
I have too, bro. I have too. Trust
So
me.
many times in so many different areas, but I'm blessed because of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's made me who I am, and that's the reason why I'm at where I'm at, and where
And
I'm
you're
headed
only
where I'm
going
headed.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can only get better.
Absolutely.
And that's why I quit saying losses,
Mhm.
and it's lessons.
Mhm.
It really is. Like any aspect, let's take away, the bad name of an L.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take some L's
For sure.
especially if it's going to get me where I need to go.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, let me get those.
All day.
I won't ever take the same L twice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah.
And like the whole thing with my situation, like I said, I won't make that same mistake twice, and I won't.
Yep.
And it'll make me a better person from it. I posted yesterday was a year since my situation, and whereas I could have been sad and dwelled on it, I was like happy because I was like, damn, like I came a long way from that place.
Isn't that cool though? To be able to just kind of step back and be like, damn, I've came a long way.
And I really have, bro. And
Yeah.
like you gotta take those blessings in disguise. Everything happens for a reason, good or bad.
Yep.
At that point in time, we may not understand why, or
Why certain things happen. Yeah.
yeah, and you might be angry about it, might hurt, but just know, and my biggest thing is trusting in God's got a bigger plan for me, and
No doubt.
he's pushing me in the direction that I'm supposed to go, and
No
I
doubt.
try to steer off the road, but
Right.
he
always gets you
yeah,
back.
hey,
Yeah.
we'll go this way. And-
That happens to me a lot, bro. A lot.
yeah,
Where I'm just like, no, I want to go this way, and then God's like, nope,
and it don't
this-
work.
it don't work. It does not work. Not for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Another thing on the other episode, I keep bringing it up, but no, it was such a good show, and I was like, yep, I was taking notes on where I wanted to go with it. So you
Dope.
said your biggest problem with people that are wanting to buy homes that they're running into is credit.
Yeah, that's thanks for bringing that up. Credit, man. Not being able to qualify when they want to qualify and having to work on some things. That's one of them. Also, assets and liabilities, more liabilities than assets. That has
And that's
you,
from Good Dad or
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Basically, liabilities is anything that takes money away from you. Debts, credit cards, student loans. Your vehicle is a liability because you spend money. It doesn't make you any money. You spend money fixing it, driving it, everything like that. Real estate, on the other hand, is an asset. It's something that builds value over time. And when you build enough value, you can sell the property cash out, you could refinance, and you have options at that point
Mm-hmm.
because you have money. So that's definitely something that I've seen. Cool thing about the people that I partner with, as far as lenders and everything like that, they actually have programs where they help people rebuild their credit. So if you do find yourself in that situation, don't feel bad. There's plenty of people in that boat, and we definitely do have the resources to help you to get you to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely something that I see.
Bro, because that was my biggest downfall is my credit.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, my grandma always told me, too, like, take care of your credit. Watch your credit. You need good credit. And, just being young. And
But we don't know.
Down, I'm like, what do I need credit for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it got time to, I was finally able to get approved for a credit card. I was like, oh, that's free money?
Yep.
Oh, I'm buying everything.
It's not free.
No. And
plus interest.
yeah, but I maxed out this credit card, but I could just pay $30 a month on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
No,
I'll get paid off, before you know it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
hey, how come I'm making $30 payments, but my balance isn't going down as much as it needs to be?
It
bro.
keeps going up.
That's something that needs to be pushed so hard in school. I think you guys touched on it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm excited about is because when I raise my daughter and while I'm raising her now, but like I get to show her like take care of your credit, save your money,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But
Yep.
I love how you guys talked about that this needs to be taught in schools.
Yeah, so I'm actually a part of a cohort of.
Oh, and I want to ask you about that too. So.
No doubt, yeah. A part of a cohort that just a bunch of DPS alumni and DSF alumni, Denver Scholarship Foundation, that are coming together to implement different things in the school system. Because if we're frank, we all know that the school system is flawed and it's just it's BS in many ways, in my opinion.
My opinion too.
Hell yeah. And so one of the projects that we're working on is putting in financial literacy in the schools and in the curriculum, and teaching kids, or students how to build credit, how to build their assets and stuff like that. And I feel like that's important in our communities because we don't have that leg up that other people have. So if we could start doing that, it'll be powerful, to get us to where we need to be.
Well, we need that. Like, let's set this generation off in the right direction,
No doubt.
bro.
No doubt.
The leg up, like you said.
Yep.
From where we come from, because I feel like our generation, we're like the last of like that traditional, the I don't know generations before us, but like the boomers, old school stuff. But we're also the beginning of the new era of technology and all
Yep.
that, and we kind of got the short end of the stick.
A little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We got the best of both worlds growing up. We keep that old school, but we're also new school.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, they gotta, teach these kids better to set off in life. Because I remember when I was 18, after I graduated, I was like, no, I got to go to college. But I didn't want to go to college.
Right.
But that was like, that's all I needed to do. And my grandma told me, she's like, you're either gonna go to school or you're gonna work. I was like, well, I don't want to go do construction. I don't want to go break my back. What could I do?
And there's so many different options, so many things you could do.
And so what I did is I got into sales. And
that's a good job because it's never going to go anywhere.
No, there's always going to, as long as there's a demand, there will always be a supply.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, my advice to anyone, any young kid listening to this, if you don't want to go to school, go get into sales. Go develop some people skills. Go develop that tough skin, like we said, and, set you up in a path of, where you can go.
For sure. Man. And you might think it's not for you. I didn't think it was for me, like I touched on that other podcast episode. If somebody would have told me that I was going to be in sales, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. Like, there's no way. But honestly, I love sales, man, because no 2 days are the same. Every conversation is different.
And you control your own income.
Exactly, And, yeah, man, I love it. And also going back to that credit topic we were talking about, a cool tip for any parents out there or anything like that is set your kids up for success early by making them an authorized user in your credit cards. You know what I mean?
But make sure that you're on your stuff with your credit card.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you're responsible.
Yeah.
And don't give them no credit card. Just have them on there. But I just thought I'd throw that out there for anybody that didn't know.
Yeah, bring the kids up right, man. Like I said, I want my daughter to be 10 times better than I was.
Yep.
Even if I'm at my best finally, I want her to be better than that. So,
Yep.
I love how you said like it's a next gen, for your future kids,
Yeah.
and that's what you're doing it for.
Yep.
And I think that's most people where they want to do it for themselves to be like no, I'm doing this for them, and that's where my mindset's at.
Yep. Yeah, I found that you always go a lot further when you do things for other people. And it might sound counterproductive or counterintuitive, I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I feel like, that's why I do it. Legacy.
Yeah. I want to ask you, so being Mexican American in this industry, I mean, do you face any like hardship or like any like side eye from certain individuals?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I don't think I do anymore. I feel like I'm around a lot more people that are more like me, that look like me.
Well, that's what the company, or not Keller Williams, but
My team.
yeah, your team. I mean, they're all Mexican
We're all pretty
American.
much Hispanic.
See let's team together, power in numbers.
Absolutely. So we're all Hispanic. We all serve our communities very well. But I will say that initially when I got into real estate, I did face that. You know what I mean? I don't know. We just persevered through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
like they don't want us there, but we're gonna be, and you know what? I won't do it with your team. I'm gonna come start my own thing. So that's dope, bro. I love to see that. Like let's team up. Let's do it together. Power in numbers.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Any advice? Any extra gems you want to drop? Somebody's lost and don't know what they want to do in life, or just anything, bro. I know that's kind of general, but
No.
some off the top of your head, or something you always make it a point to bring up.
For sure, man. I mean, I appreciate the space. You know what I mean? And some of these things I always talk about. I feel like on social media, and I talk about them because I believe in them. You know what I mean? It's my mindset. But that scarcity versus abundance mindset is huge. Even me, like in this industry, I've had to work on my mindset so much, and I feel like I still have to get to where I want to be. To where I see myself in the future. And that's all it really is, man. It's just mindset. If we can control our mind, we can control our destiny, our future. Some tips that I could recommend to people out there is the power of a morning routine, of a solid morning routine, will kickstart your day in a positive way. One of the things that I like to do when I first wake up is, I wake up, I read 10 pages of a book pretty much every day. So that sets me off to read about a book a month, right? I do that. I read my Bible, right? I read my affirmations. So there's affirmations that I've written down, and I read them out loud. And also, I write down in a journal.
Okay. I just started that, actually, bro.
It's powerful, bro, because it helps you put things into perspective. So what I write in this journal is 10 things that I'm grateful for, 3 things that made me happy in the last 24 hours, 10 affirmations, and then what I want to earn in this year, next year.
Okay.
Right? And whenever I write it and whenever I say it in present tense, as if it's already happening right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that goes back to The Secret, the
law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
And I mean, I believe in all that stuff. You know what I mean? I believe that there's things that go on in the world that aren't physical, that we don't understand. There's obviously laws, to the universe, and so I believe these things, man. And so I feel like ever since I've been doing these things, it's been helping me with my mental. And so I recommend it to anybody else out there. And also, what you want to do in the morning is get active. Move around a little bit, go exercise, go run.
Yep, I see you doing your thing. You getting them hands right.
I love boxing, bro. Since I was a kid, I love boxing, bro.
And I eventually I want to get into Brazilian jiu-jitsu and like some Muay Thai. Not that I'm gonna go be a fighter, but I just want to train.
Right, self-defense or even just getting some aggression out, or you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to all that type of stuff. And another thing I like to do is meditate. I'm huge on meditation. I've been, kind of talking about it for a while now, but it really has helped me in more than one way. And there's a lot of benefits to it. And science is finally starting to catch up to it. And I feel like it's a topic that we don't know a lot about.
Mm-mm.
And it's a new topic. But yeah, the worst thing we could do in the morning is roll over and open our phones.
This thing right here.
That's
And I was bad on that, bro. I was so
Yep,
bad.
me
And
too.
I'm trying to get better. I'm not trying to jump on social media now since I'm a full-time trader. I consider myself a full-time trader.
Mhm.
I'm checking stocks and stuff, but
Yep.
eventually I want to get to the point where I'll be a longer hold, so I'm not that focused on it. But
Yep.
I was the biggest one. I mean, you just sit there and go jump on Facebook, and
Facebook, Instagram, emails.
you'll be stuck in there.
stuck just scrolling.
The thing that used to get me is the video feeds where you watch one video and you just keep going down and watching just.
Man, TikTok does that for me.
I miss the TikTok wave. I don't really watch it too much.
Oh, yeah, it got me, man.
I seen you're making some though. I saw you hitting the Dougie.
Yeah, I try to have some fun.
Yeah, that's dope though. I mean, that's putting yourself out there.
Exactly, but that's another aspect of me just getting outside of my comfort zone. A couple years ago, I actually didn't have social media. I didn't have Facebook for like 8 years.
I remember that.
For a long time.
Yeah.
I was MIA, but my job pretty much requires it. And honestly, like I look at it through a different perspective now, and I try to utilize social media in a more healthier way these days.
To help you more than hurt you.
Exactly. It's all about balance, man. That's life is balance.
Mhm.
Too much of one thing is never a good thing.
Mhm.
So.
Yep, definitely gotta have the balance. For somebody that doesn't, they're want to meditate, what would you recommend? How to get into it?
Man, that's dope, man. You're asking dope questions right now. Yeah, I just recommend. So basically, my journey started back in 2012, right? I had a lot of things going on, and I was watching Russell Simmons' interview
Okay.
of him on YouTube, and he was talking about meditation and yoga, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try this. So I started trying it, right, and just sitting with myself and watching my breath and stuff like that, and I realized that my mind was all over the place, and they call that the monkey mind.
That's me to a T. Bro.
Yeah, that was me. I couldn't even sleep sometimes. I'd be overthinking, and I'd be like, oh shoot, you know what I
Mine
mean?
just going just
Everywhere.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. So if you do want to get into meditation, just know that that's something that you will experience initially. But I would recommend some applications out there like 10% or Calm or Headspace. Check those out. They have guided meditation sessions on there where they show you how to meditate. And there's different types of meditation. There's body scan, visualization, mindfulness, all that type of stuff, right? But basically the goal is to be able to sit with yourself, with your thoughts, and pay attention to your breath as much as possible. In the process, you're gonna kind of just go all over the place. You're gonna lose your attention to your breath, and you're gonna start thinking about the past or the future, or how your leg hurts, or how you have to scratch your nose or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the goal is to always just kind of have compassion with yourself and get back to the breath. Some of the benefits of meditation is compassion, is boosted immunity, lower anxiety, help with depression, lower blood pressure, you name it. And actually, it helps rewire your brain and your thought processes and stuff like that. So it definitely has helped me a lot. I feel like if you were to have this podcast conversation a couple years ago, it probably wouldn't have been.
For both of us. I mean, we're probably just sitting here talking about like
just
beer
whatever.
pong or something dumb.
I love beer pong, but
Yeah,
I don't play it.
I haven't.
Anymore.
I lost it, man. I haven't played in so long.
Yeah, but yep.
No, that's dope. And then I called it a mantra. What did you call it?
Mantra. I forgot.
Oh, well, like a mantra is where you just repeat the same word over and over and over. So somebody want to do something so basic as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're almost short on time here. I want to make sure you plug whatever you want to plug. How do people get a hold of you if they want to buy a house? What are the steps they take? Yeah, go ahead and plug yourself, bro.
Definitely, man. So if you do want to purchase a home, you can find me on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Ruben Helo. Go ahead and type that in. You can shoot me an email at ruben@elevateav.com. You can give me a call, shoot me a text. My phone number is 720-490-8769. Also, too, I have a page for my clothing line if you do want to check it out.
Yep.
Check out HVLO Apparel on Instagram and Facebook. And the process is super simple, guys, when it comes to purchasing a home. Basically, reach out to me. I just gather some basic information, and I partner you up with one of my top lenders. I work with a couple of lenders here in Denver that do a great job of guiding people and making people feel comfortable in their process. So super simple. At that point, the lender kind of goes in, runs your information, and just lets you know where you stand, and we just kind of go from there. A lot of people are scared to talk to a lender initially, but it's actually the best first step you could take, because it lets you know where you stand and what you need to do to get to where you need to be. So there's that. Also, if you're looking to sell your property, feel free to reach out. My team and I actually have one of the stats here in Denver that we actually help people get the most for their homes whenever they list with us, and that's because of all the different strategies we like to utilize when we list a property, whether that be marketing or negotiating for you. All that is super important when you're selling your property. You want to make sure you net as much as possible. Usually that's the goal, right? And so we definitely do a good job at that. So, that's where people can reach me, man. Like I said, it'd be my pleasure to just kind of help people and assist them in the right direction.
Yep. And you touched on, too, you said anyone that wanted advice or had a question or some positivity, anything.
Absolutely.
Definitely talk to them. I mean, just a 20-minute conversation, look where it led me, you know what I mean, at the gym.
No doubt. But it's important to note and realize that you're taking the steps, you know what I mean? You're doing what you need to do to get to, where you want to be. And I just want to give you a shout out again, man. This is dope, man. Just being able to be in this environment, having a dope conversation, and actually doing the practical steps to do whatever it is that you want to do. And you're actually in trading too. I didn't know that. So that's dope as hell too.
Yep. We'll talk about that too. I'll go ahead and send you some stuff.
No doubt.
But yeah, bro, thank you so much for coming on to this.
Of course, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I gave you a shout out in my first episode, and I made it a point to have you back. I'll have you on again. You know what I mean?
It'd be my pleasure.
Yep, and once you have start your thing, allow me on there.
I'm going to get you on there.
Yeah, bro.
For sure.
Some big things coming for us. Thank you, everyone, for listening. You know where to get a hold of Ruben. I'll go ahead and drop the clothing line link. I'll tag your social media, all that, so people know how to get in touch with you. Thank you again. I always leave off with like a little quote or something I said yesterday is don't become a victim to your circumstances, become victorious because of your circumstances. So just because you're down and out, you know what I mean, build from it and grow. Don't let it define you.
Can I drop one?
Yes, please.
So I posted this on Instagram yesterday, and I feel like it was really powerful. And it was sow out words that will force you to live out your future. Don't be afraid to speak what you feel and want to do by thinking you will fail and not accomplish it, or people will think you're in over your head. When you say it, when you state it, it plants the seed and gives you the visions of what you need to do practically to get there. So that just basically means that whatever it is that you want to do, don't be afraid to speak it out, because when you speak it out, you start getting the visions of what you need to do to get to that point.
Put it out there, put it in the universe.
Exactly.
Alrighty, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again, Ruben.
Thanks again, guys. Peace.